Hey there you, and welcome to the Pit of War, where we test each of the Warhammer factions in a last stand against 8 million zombies. And taking up the mantle of defense today is the Chaos. Can the Black Legion Space Marines, supported by Khorne's Bloodletters and copious amounts of renegade gunners, stand against the tide of undeath? But before we do kick off today's battle, I want to say a massive shout out to all you channel members who helped keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. While you're at it, go ahead, check out the amazing ChaoticPinky store. We've got some really cool merch over there. With all that being said, let's get on with today's fight. Then, ladies and gentlemen, the Pit of War is active once more, and of course, Khorne's Bloodletters here aren't just going to stand around in the defense. They're not going to wait for the enemy to come to them. They are going to take the fight right towards the enemy, and we can see the massed hordes of demons here charging out to meet the zombies head on. Them gigantic demonic blades of theirs swinging back and forth, just taking out vast swathes of the zombies. Meanwhile, in the background, they continue their ritual of being like lemmings and leaping off the cliff. I absolutely love that. But look at this, a good old chunk of zombies has been taken out by the Bloodletters here. Just absolute devastation as the melee powered demons here carve a path right into the hordes that are literally just jumping down upon them here. You can see that we've got another somewhat defensive wall happening over this side. Though there is these larger gaps in it at the moment that the zombies can exploit. And that's exactly what they're starting to do. You can see that we've got these groups that have pushed out quite far all by themselves. So they're going to be quite good at holding the flanks, at least for a little while here, as the rest of the zombies come pouring into the breach. It's kind of weird, actually. We've got these weird little, somewhat really small defensive lines just appearing up and down the line here as we get all these little demons pouring out from the Chaos defense line. You see a couple of renegade gunners have also tried to push up here to provide covering fire towards the assault as the zombies mow their way through, quite frankly, these Bloodletters. The Bloodletters are actually taking quite significant losses, realistically. But again, that's the horde nature of the zombies for you. Despite them being demonically empowered here, the Bloodletters, they can still be taken out by vast and vast hordes of undead like they are here. Look at all them renegade gunners in the background as well now, pushing up into the breached area, trying to lay down that covering fire, stop the wall of death moving forward. Meanwhile, bolts of fire is just striking it down onto this line, cutting down hundreds and hundreds of zombies in the process. The Black Legion there not letting their fingers off the trigger at all. Meanwhile, the corrupted Lehman Russies are providing that covering fire also. God, look at these guys. They're really starting to push out forward here. But I'm starting to get a bit worried. The line's going to get a little bit thinned out. My God. Oh, leave it to the Bloodletters to let some blood. Little Timmy, get out your rubber dinghy already. Fun up for the entire family. I mean, that's quite early on that Timmy has been praised. But again, Bloodletters on the field, letting blood. Look at this. We've actually really starting to get some form of defensive line here now, coming out of the Chaos ranks. Loads of renegade gunners are moving up to try and provide covering fire here. Because they couldn't shoot over the bodies, that's why. Look, there's a pile of bodies at the front here. To the renegades who are on the lower parts, they've all moved up now. We're starting to fill up the plateau with goo. Again, we've got these lovely little defensive walls right behind the Bloodletters. Just a wall of firepower covering them, trying to hold the flanks with them as well. Meanwhile, the lemmings are still hopping off the cliff. So what we at now? 1.2 million kills. Okay, we're doing some work here. but there is still 6.5 million left on the field. Well, that's a crazy amount of zombies, really. The Chaos, though, are doing well up until this point. They're actually managing to hold the outer area pretty well, considering that they've got a distinct lack of melee troops in this fight, quite frankly. Like, they don't have many of them at all here. Look at these guys. These are really pushing up and outwards. That's a really big group of renegade gunners that have all pushed off the central platform now. Again, it's this giant hill. They can't shoot over the hill, so they're having to push up with them. You can see a couple of renegade gunners have got a little bit exuberant here and have also charged into melee along with the bloodletters. I mean, I wouldn't like to be a renegade gunner fighting side by side with a bloodletter. That just seems like a sure way to lose your head at some point. Look at this, though. The zombies are trying to funnel troops down into the flank. Oh, it's raining, man. You gotta love it. But yeah, these guys are really starting to push that line forward now, taking the fight to the undead here. The undead can't outflank you if there is no flank, quite frankly. But again, look, we're starting to get thinned out on troops in certain areas. Look at all this goo down this end of the field. There's so much of it. Just crazy amounts. Yeah, look at this, though. The line is thinning. The horde is taking its effect here, despite the fact that they're getting lit up by bolts of fire and tank rounds as they come down that hill. The Chaos, a valiant defense at the moment. When they've only lost about 8,000, that's pretty dang good going. However, it looks like the front line of bloodletters on this side has actually now perished. The only thing standing between the Nommers and the central platform is a thin wedge of renegade gunners. They're going to try and hold their own, but look at them pouring into this breach. As soon as all of the bloodletters here have been killed, the horde swarms forward. Now, luckily, we did actually manage to build a little bit of a natural defense over here in the form of a goo lake, so the zombies are going to have to sort of build a corpse pile to be able to get across this. Let's just check how deep it is. I mean, some of the trees are submerged, so yeah, that's pretty tasty. Look at these bloodletters, though. They are just going to town here. Absolutely annihilating vast hordes of the zombies. We just got to hope that the renegades can keep up this pace of fire that they have been up until this point. Again, though, it does feel like the pincers are starting to close on our defensive lines here. Let's go for a bit of an overview so we can see what's actually happening. Yeah, so this lower part here is definitely the weak point. The rest of the lines actually look somewhat okay. Maybe there is a break in the line over here, actually. Is this a break? It is. Look at that. Again, the zombies just come pouring through that breach, instantly exploiting any weakness in the defensive line here. And that's actually kind of devastating because it's allowing them to outflank the rest of the bloodletters. And now this is where the renegade gunners start backing up to try and get away, so the firepower is diminishing from the front line also. See, even the Black Legion here pushed up a little bit. He wanted a better view of the battlefield. The worry is then is that these renegade gunners over this side are about to get encircled, pincered, taken down, and turned into zombie chowder. Meanwhile, tank fire is still pounding them front lines as well. Look at this. This is something that I don't think I've shown. A lot of the tanks and the Black Legion, they end up shooting at zombies at the top up here. They end up killing quite a few at the top of these places. Let's just go have a look down this side again. You know what, I think these, they're actually fairly beat up. It's hard to tell because they've got a red skin, but they're absolutely covered in blood, them chaps. So it might not be long before we get a break in that point to the line there. This is looking at way healthier, though, in the center. The Chaos holding its own. A big thick wedge of renegade gunners behind him. Even tank fire and the Black Legion have all pushed up now. It's a combined front, and it is working wonders for them. They're just managing. Oh yeah, look at this. They lost the wider flank then, but they're still just managing to hold back. How many are we at now? 4.6 million. Okay, they've killed 3.2. That is really nice. but you can see the cracks starting to appear in the defense. They're struggling to keep pace with the horde here. Have we actually got many? Okay, so look at this. We have still got quite a few bloodletters left in amongst them, at least on this side, so it's not all completely over here. Still no blood in the center, a little bit sad, but of course the chaos beat the chaos. They've pushed their advantage here. Look at this. These guys are just standing beneath them and shooting upwards, and they're not even hitting anything. That's ridiculous, guys. Come on, there's a front line over here, for goodness sake. Oh my god. And now that's a lot of goo. That's a lot of goo. Look at this, they've pushed right over the crest of the hill now. Which is actually kind of good, because they've got a nice field of fire here. Being able to lay down that smackdown right on top of the zombie horde as it tries to encroach on their position. Yeah, like I said, they're actually holding. Oh no, there's major flank over here though. It has finally crumbled completely. They're unable to hold them back. And now the zombies are just pouring into the side of the renegade gunners. Look at this, there's even a breach here. Which are it's hard to tell because of all the corpses over the floor. Yeah, they are pushing through. Not many of them. Oh, not many of them, he says. Yeah, let's change that to a metric shit ton. Look at the corpse piles, though. That natural defensive lake of goo that we've built over here has really helped out the chaos defense. Immensely, in fact. Look at this, because it's actually funneling the zombies into these kill zones, allowing the renegade gunner firepower to have its maximum effect. But we are struggling to get melee capacity here on the front line. We've got rolling hills of corpses for days. Oh my god, look at that surge of zombies just pouring up the side of the dead here. Again, the renegade gunners are trying their best to hold an outer perimeter here. But it may all be lost pretty soon here. Looks like the zombies are actually about to make a little bit of a breakthrough. Yeah, again, all the bloodletters have now started to perish on this side of the flank. We're doing a lot better over here, but they're starting to look a little worse for wear. They've taken a lot of damage over here. God, you can actually just see the blood gushing down the side there. That's so much. How are we doing on this far flank? Okay, so they're still holding out. I thought that might have been a weak point. What is even going on here? Okay, so I think it's because we've got a few Black Legion Space Marines out over this side. The flank is actually holding just a little bit. The Black Legion, extremely tanky here, distracting the zombies just long enough to hold the flank, at least for now. But I think we're about to start losing these outer areas pretty soon here. An assault on the main center platform is now taking place. It's still pretty well defended though, to be honest. So it is going to take a little bit of time for the Nommers to get through that, but it's this flank over here that I'm really worried about now. When them Black Legion fall over that side, it's going to give the Nommers a clear run right into the rear flank of these guys. Although, let's face it, the other flank is already collapsing. Oh my days, is it collapsing. Renegade gunners now are trying to back up to the center slowly. Regain some semblance of firepower. This line's still holding really nice though, actually. They're taking a few losses holding it, but it has been doing a really good work over here. Turning the zombies into mountains, quite frankly. I mean, look at these. Yeah, you can definitely tell the surge has started to take over. In fact, we're almost running out of zombies on this flank. They did that well over here. In fact, this is getting a little bit weird now because we've got this massive push. Oh my god, look at all this. Oh, that is so deep. That is absolutely ridiculous. And we've still got a big fat wedge of these bloodletters up front. Just ripping through the horde, and the horde is getting thinned down massively at this point. The chaos actually might be able to thin out one of these attack vectors, which is pretty impressive. We've got very sporadic firefights though now, because a lot of the chaos are just getting trapped and surrounded out in the middle of nowhere. So you just got loads of these little groups now that the zombies are surrounding. And I mean, say, oh, okay, that's a lot of firepower, actually. These, what, 6 Black Legion there? Oh, no, there's not. There's 9 Black Legion. Yeah, but look at that. The outer defense has pretty much all but crumbled on that side. Oh, yeah, let's have a look how we're doing over here now. Are these guys under that pincer attack? They are. Look at that. The hordes come swooping in from behind. The renegade gunners are still trying to hold their own, laying in that firepower, but the zombie hordes here, using sheer weight of numbers, able to start breaking through. But the Chaos are almost at 5 million kills, 2.8 million zombies remaining. I mean, they've done a really good job. God, look at them. It's a terrifying sight, isn't it, really? Just seeing that many zombies charging towards you. Just these massive, I guess you could just call them a herd. It's just a herd of zombies. Oh, these guys are getting chewed up and spat out now. A full-on pincer maneuver has been performed on these. I think all the bloodletters dead. Yeah, they are. We've just got a group of renegades down here. Oh no, we have got a couple of bloodletters. A lot of them are stuck over here, though, trying to kill the zombies who are falling off the cliffs. Oh, they've actually started eating their way into the central platform defense here as well. And it's a pincer maneuver. How many times have I said that word now? Feels like a lot. But this might be all that she wrote here for the... Who have we got over here? This might be all that she wrote for the Chaos here. It feels like the last 2.6 million is a tall order for 40,000 troops. Even though they are in quite a strong defensive position, we still have this little sally forth here. Which is, again, probably only holding because of the vast amount of Black Legion that are on that front line. I think most of the bloodletters are pretty much dead at this point. And we got... Oh, you know what? I'm telling lies. I'm telling porkies. There's still actually quite a few bloodletters left in amongst them. So these should be making their way to the front now. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can see a couple of them have made their way to the front. So we still do have some defensive capabilities here. There's so many pushing in, man. Look at that. Oh my days. Have they defeated these chaps over here? Yeah, they finally defeated most of them over there. There's a tiny little group. Just a couple of, again, of the Black Legion left over here. So the main defense then is this now. Most of all the other flanks have collapsed. Look, even the one that they started clearing out has now fallen as well and been massively reinforced. So we have only got just a few of our chaps left here on the field. But they're holding out valiantly against the vast swarms that are coming in. Look at these body piles that we made as well. Absolutely magnificent. But what I'm going to do, I think we're going to hit a little time-lapse camera here. Let's get our final kill counter result and see what happens to the Chaos. We'll be back in a sec. Oh, look at that. We are actually starting to fill up the center with goo. Lovely. We'll be back in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the swan song of the Chaos, down to their last 1,300 units. But they've managed to kill 5.5 million here. Only 2.1 million zombies remaining on the field. That's actually really good in terms of the defensive capabilities here. I think the Bloodletters did a lot of that work here, as well as the Black Legion being able to tank a heck of a lot of the damage that they were actually taking. But yeah, look at this, they're still holding out. We've still got a few bloodletters here amongst them. The Black Legion also. Did we actually manage to fill up the center with much goo? Let's go take a dip. Did we at least... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, at least we got to a little Timmy level there. That's perfectly acceptable. Not too much, but yeah, it was interesting to see the Chaos here trying to hold these outer edges. It was a really difficult fight for them, and honestly, I actually thought the Chaos were in for a little bit of a win early on, especially when they started clearing out one of these which one was it? They started to clear out one of these. It might have been this one, actually. But yeah, either way, I thought the Chaos had that in the bag here. And with the last 500 remaining on the field, ladies and gentlemen, I do think we can call this one here. So as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.